This is the Dzogchen Sunday Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. It is Qui-Gon Jinn early Tuesday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. After we have completed our review of the 7 Enlightenment Factors. The first Enlightenment Factor is mindfulness. Now, let us not confuse mindfulness with concentration. When we concentrate, we rely upon the medial prefrontal cortex right behind the forehead, and overworking that region triggers our amygdala, the bottom of our brain, which functions as the seat of anxiety and aggression. Instead, we practice mindfulness by relying upon the core of our sympathetic nervous system, located in about the middle of our spinal cord. It helps us to watch mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. The easiest way for us, the most efficient way for us to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the verb watch during each inhalation, about once every 12 hours or so. The second Enlightenment Factor is typically described as typically translated as investigation. I prefer to translate it as being vulnerable, which is short for noticing or watching vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. Watching what? All manner of phenomena, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the convenient to the arduous, from the glorious to the grotesque. This is the opposite of being defensive and acting like our own press agent. And this occurs when we silently and mentally recite the verb watch during our inhalation. The fourth Enlightenment Factor is joy. Now, when I first heard about this, I was overwhelmed because I was hoping that mastering enlightenment would give me joy. Imagine my surprise when I learned that joy is a prerequisite of enlightenment. I was concerned that I would have to rely upon terrible techniques wherein we try to contrive an analog of joy, cross our fingers, and hope for the best. I was very happy to learn that this is the word joy here could be described as joyful love. And it is the involuntary and effortless and automatic product of simply feeling and resting in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation. The more that we do this, the more we calm our anxious and aggressive and amygdala, as well as gently stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, which not only functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, but also as the seat of empathy and compassion and joyful love. This is the key to the sympathetic joy that is mentioned in the Mahayana teachings. The third Enlightenment Factor is energy. Now, once again, as someone who has endured multiple chronic illnesses, when I first read this, I was disappointed. I was hoping that enlightenment would give me energy, not the other way around, that energy would give me enlightenment. Now, when you speak to a bunch of people who are stuck in, what's the word I'm thinking of? Institutional Buddhism, as opposed to proto-Buddhism, who are stuck in patriarchy as opposed to matriarchy. These people will tell you, yeah, man, you got to work like a demon, you got to work like a fiend in order to master the path. But the opposite is true. The more we feel and rest in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation at least once every 12 hours or so, the more our choices and utterances and deeds flow, not from contrived calculation nor wild scatterness, but rather from love's deeply centered spontaneity. This is the wellspring of energy that helps us to practice mutual aid to our neighbors, not because we have an agenda, but spontaneously and wisely and sincerely. And we come to find that our neighbors are everyone, which reminds me of a passage written by the great Bengali poet. I dreamt that life was bliss. I woke and saw that life was service. I acted and found that service was bliss. Tagore or Tagore, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The sixth enlightenment factor is coalescence. As our air coalesces in our lungs during our inhalation, we automatically access the middle bit of our spinal cord, which functions as the core of our sympathetic nervous system, which empowers us to watch all mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. The fifth enlightenment factor is tranquility. Now, tranquility, despite the ravings of patriarchal teachers, and remember, Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, which includes people, which includes Buddhist teachers. So despite the ravings of 90% of teachers who are just stuck in being rigid, tranquility is not something we force. Every time we silently and mentally recite the verb rest during our exhalation, we automatically access both the tippy top and the very bottom of our spinal cords. These two regions, functioning as a team, function as the core, I should say working as a team, function as the core of our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired to help us to physically relax and mentally release that which we watched during our previous inhalation to such a degree that which we watched during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, when I was in 4th grade, I had the good fortune to be taught that a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. Therefore, we must ask the question, what? What is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand? We come now to the 7th enlightenment factor, which is equanimity. We can look at it superficially and profoundly. Superficially, it works like this. As we rest in our exhalation, whatever beauty or ugliness we might have watched during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just sights. As we rest in our exhalation, whatever harmony or discord we might have heard during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just sounds. As we rest in our exhalation, whatever pleasure or pain we might have felt during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just feelings, just sensations. As we rest in our exhalation, whatever experience of deliciousness or disgust we might have tasted during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just flavor. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever fragrance or foulness we smelt during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just sense. So that was the superficial experience of equanimity. Now let's look at the remedial aspect of equanimity. Thanks to our dopamine-oriented reward system, we each have controlling tendencies. And that's useful from a survival point of view. It's kept our species alive. It's useful to survive, but it's not useful for thriving. It's not useful for having a really meaningful life. So remedial equanimity says there's only one antidote for whatever comes up in our life. Whether it is beautiful or ugly or harmonious or discord, or pleasurable or painful or delicious or disgusting or fragrant or foul, whether it is beneficial or harmful, there's only one antidote. And that is to watch and rest in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation. Now you might say, and you might feel alarmed and ask, does that mean we do nothing? No. Once again, remember the third enlightenment factor of energy. By watching and resting, watching and resting is the key that opens the door to the vault of centered spontaneity. The way to act efficiently and lovingly and wisely and effortlessly flows from watching and resting. That is the key to that which is sometimes described as either right effort or effortless effort or doing without doing or wu wei or going with the flow or being in the zone or expedient means. In preparation for Hatha Yoga's union of awareness and letting go, let us gently invite our real or imagined subtle energy to coalesce on our crown. It's easy. All we got to do is touch the tip of our left index finger to the lower knuckle of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. It's just that simple. Now, we don't want to make the mistake of actively focusing on our nostrils or our breath. Remember, doing so exhausts our medial prefrontal cortex, triggers our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression, and nobody wants that. Instead, we act like a good piano student who is so busy with the sheet music and the keyboard, they don't have the bandwidth to actively focus upon the sound of the metronome, and instead merely hold it in passive peripheral awareness. So as we inhale, let us silently and mentally recite the phrase, passively watching. As we exhale, let us do two things. Let us physically relax as best we can while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath. So while our left index finger is still supporting the lower knuckle of our right index finger, let us count the breaths on our right hand, beginning with our right little finger, together. And I say count the breaths, what I really mean is count the mantras. Om tare tu tare tu re so wa. 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 So that took about 1 minute. So if you'd like to do this for an additional 12 minutes, you can count sets on using the tip of your left thumb and placing it on the lower set of creases of your left little finger. We then return to our right hand and count another 12 mantras. Om tare tu tare tu re so wa. 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 And now we can advance our thumb again. And now that you get the basic idea of how we play with our hands, you can return your hands palms up to your lap. Om tare du tare du re so wa. 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 Om tare re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re du re so wa. Om tare du da re do re so wa. Om Dhari do Dhari 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 do re so wa. Om Dhari Dare do Dare do Re So Wa. Om 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 Dare do Dare do Re So Wa. Checking for questions. In preparation for Anu Yoga's union of bliss and letting go, let us gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in our chest by simply using the tip of our left middle finger to support the lower knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. So practicing the union of bliss and letting go is easy, as we practice bliss during our inhalation by silently and mentally reciting the phrase, passively feeling. We let go during our exhalation by physically relaxing as best we can, while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath, for a total of 4 breaths. And we perform 12 sets of those 4 breaths. Excuse me, 13 sets. Remember, the moment you have a specific question about the philosophies or techniques that support meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 15 minutes or so. Om Tare Du Nare Du Re So Wa. 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 Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. 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 suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re suwa. Having sat, oopsie, that's a little let's go over here. I'm going to hit this button, button number 4, and we shall now shift gears. Let us now practice Mahayoga's union of love and letting go, wherein we bring our neurotic needs and desires into the peaceful path of manifesting mental, interpersonal, physical, and circumstantial happiness for all beings everywhere. Since we're already wired for empathy and cooperation, let's practice mental wishing love. May each being so. If you wish to chant with me, I invite you to join me on the TubeApp simulcast. If you see me looking at you right now through the camera, you're at the right place. May each being's experience of the mental no be as peacefully wise as the mind of an octuple Buddha symbolized by a bija seed syllable. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable wish, bija wise for all minds. As we exhale, let us physically relax as best we can, while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Since we're already wired for empathy and cooperation, let's practice interpersonal wishing love. May each being's experience of the interpersonal be as joyfully loving as a speech of an octuple Buddha symbolized by a mantra. Mantra love for all speech. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa. Since we're already wired for empathy and cooperation, let's practice physical wishing love. May each being's experience of the physical not be as healthy as the form of an octuple Buddha symbolized by a yidam. Yidam health for all forms. Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Suwa, Om Tare Dure Sowa. 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 Since we're already wired for empathy and cooperation, let us practice circumstantial wishing love. May each being's experience of the circumstantial now be as fortunate as the lot of an archetypical Buddha symbolized by a paradise, pure land, or Vati. Whoopsie, I was supposed to chant that. May each being's experience of the circumstantial now be as fortunate as the lot of an archetypical Buddha symbolized by a paradise, pure land, or Vati. Vati boon for all lots. Om Tare Dure Sowa. 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 Having sat for the better part of an hour, we might find it refreshing to engage in some Buddhist burpees after reviewing Refuge and Bodhicitta. In our compassion, may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of dread, desire, and delusion, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In all pragmatism, may all liberation of all others be fueled by our mastery of the three wish-fulfilling jewels of following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. The 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted reads, "May we free all through the three jewels." I'm going to take a moment to swing the camera around. Now, with a mighty Yiddish grunt, I shall now stand up. Oi! Okay, here we go. May we free all through the 3 jewels. Whoopsie, almost fell. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 10 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk practice of Meditate Like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.